Yo yo, what is up? Hey Potato, how you doing? And the rest of you wonderful folks. We will get started with the charts in one moment. Just chilling right now. It's a wonderful Wednesday. Obviously, it's been a kind of quiet day for markets. I mean, I know the indices had some pullbacks. Crypto BTC right now is down about 1.27% on the day. ETH is down 1.13. Some alts are down, some alts are up. We'll take a look at a bunch of different things, go through some requests. So yeah, let's dive on into it. Cool. So first and foremost, your king, your maker, BTC. Obviously, nothing really. It's funny. I was looking at this before the stream. Pretty much last Wednesday we were actually pushing up a little. We were a little bit higher than we are now. I think we were a couple $100 higher. We closed out that day at 23,730, and then the Wednesday before that we were closing it out at around 2360. So we really haven't had that much happen in a bit. Yes, I can see you. yes, finally falls. Maybe it's because you have your channel now and you post vids. They're like, he's all right. He can go in Johnsy's streams and talk in chat. So it's great to hear. I got to work on the latency issue. That should hopefully get fixed in time. But yeah, awesome. Good to see you're able to join us in the chat. But yeah, we're slowly leaving ultimately a bunch of lows on lower time frames. I know Falls has shared some lovely charts on Twitter talking about that. We know what happened last time that sort of thing happened. If we go back to, where was it? Was it back? I think it was September. I'm trying to remember. I think it was maybe I'm way off. I don't think it was that far back. No. Yeah, I think it was here, 0. Yeah. Up in short term before sweep of sell side. So good question with that. I very well could be totally off with seeing 25k. We could maybe just take this buy side liquidity and then we go down. But ultimately, I feel like either one of two scenarios is going to happen. Obviously there's many scenarios that could happen, but what I'm leaning towards here is I think this is going to continue kind of consolidating, pushing up, because everybody keeps trying to short. They want to get these lows. They want to get these lows. Now these lows, we haven't taken Monday's low either. That is untouched. We did take the high. So ultimately what I'm thinking, there's really no news this week for the rest of the week. The next big things is CPI next Wednesday. Yo, what's good, Ulix? So I think CPI is really going to be the oh no, or not oh no, but the big moment for when market starts trending again. Until then, I don't really... You'll probably see some moves here or there, but I don't think we'll be seeing anything decisive either way, up or down, until then. So ultimately, what I would like to see though is a push up to these highs. Though I really think if CPI the numbers get crazy or something, we could get a big wick up, take all the liquidity up here. And then I think you're going to get that kind of accumulation, manipulation, expansion down, wreck all the lows, probably push down into this imbalance. I don't know if the breaker is going to hold here. Or maybe we just rip up and you go to 28K just like that. But I don't see us really taking these lows unless the S&P and NASDAQ, all the main indices are really going to get wrecked, which my bias has slightly changed on them considering where I was at like last week and even like yesterday, given what happened today. So yeah, that is why, in regards to your question, why I'm looking for upside before downside. I just feel like everybody keeps getting baited trying to short these lows. Yeah, 6 relatively equal lows. I don't even, that's the thing, like I don't even know if people are looking to short, or I haven't seen anybody talk about shorting this. I hear either bull euphoria, like we're going high, like 30K, whatever, or everybody's talking like tops in or going down. So you're long. Yeah, I am in a long on another coin, the Chromalads no, but other than that, we'll wait and see what we get. But I would like to see continuation trend ultimately in the coming probably quarter, maybe even second quarter for the year. And then I think potentially we would get a more serious high time frame reversal. Are we going to take the lows? Like, is this the macro low end? Very well could be. Again, like I'm not a high time frame like macro quant person who's like, oh, we're gonna go here. I just kind of look at some Fibonacci patterns with harmonics and combine that with my knowledge on price action and form my own opinion. But yeah, I wouldn't really expect too much to happen this week. Probably some chop, maybe you get an impulse here or there, but I really don't think these lows are going to get taken until after CPI. That's just my read. Could wake up tomorrow, the lows will be taken and we're ripping sky high, but let's keep moving for now and we'll see where we're at. So ETH, I put my T down first. I'm like sitting here holding this. It'll be a lot easier to use the keyboard. So ETH looks marginally better, I would say, than BTC. We have some nice like bullish order flow. You really though haven't made a higher high, or at least closed and made a higher high since 1682.44, or at least on the Binance perp chart. Yeah, so that's a little concerning, but my kind of thoughts with ETH are this, and I'll lay it all out for you. Yo, Platty, what's up? But yeah, if we go to daily, similar to BTC, you have this kind of like supply block. Obviously, like we tapped up into it, it's been respected. But ultimately, what I want to see here, first rate test the H4 FEG EQ. Are you talking on ETH or BTC? I'll go back to BTC after I finish this if that's what you mean, but ETH, there's no really EQ. That's like, we already took this. This is EQ got taken. But yeah, it just keeps on like grinding up and it's kind of consolidating, and I think it's just going to keep going up and that's just going to pop and burst through. So ultimately, I would be looking for, if we can break and pop above this, flip, hold above this, breaker, and then I'll ultimately look for higher prices like I've been talking about for past couple weeks. My high time frame target, if this harmonic, it'll be more solidified once we get above B, and with I would say like a weekly close above B is what I would need to be like, all right, 3,272 is definitively like in the cards. But for right now, we got a lot of work cut out for ourselves, or at least ETH does. So that's where I'm at with that. I'll quick look back to BTC. I don't know what you mean by don't you think we will retest the H4 FEG EQ? I'm not sure. If you're talking here, my whole thing is like, if we're taking these lows, you're nuking. Like it's not gonna be pretty. It's not gonna tap and bounce. Like I genuinely think, like Follis has mentioned in chat and on Twitter, like it's not necessarily going to go to zero, but I would expect this whole thing to get wiped. 22K. Yeah. No, I could see that. There's so much liquidity there. I just think it'll get absolutely wrecked. I don't think it's going to bounce right away. I could be wrong. But If you've rewatched the video from earlier, I kind of went through my thought in terms of why I think we're going to go higher first. And yeah, same kind of logic with ETH. Again, we're rating the high, but it's like something's got to break because you're not making new lower lows. The structure on H4, like even here, like you broke bearish, but then again, you rated the low, you broke bullish. So it's like we're back in bullish structure right now. You have... I technically you took the high there, so I guess like you have buy side liquidity here and here, but ultimately I would want to see a kind of strong impulsive move from ETH to push up and continue with the trend before looking for downside. But this could be something similar to, yeah, like something I would like to see if it's gonna go down is like pop up like this and then come back down. So oops. That's what I would want on ETH. Low time frame, again, like H4 is relatively, we have bullish structure. H1, I mean, I guess you could argue this is now technically bearish structure because like you have your market structure break there, though. Like to me, that's not really like a definitive low, especially with like the little bit of news we had with the Powell speech yesterday here. I really would want to see more of this low get broken to be a break of structure. So that's what I would be watching out for. 8K. I don't know about 8K just yet, Platty. Maybe next cycle. I think ETH could definitely hit 10K next cycle though. Given like the returns it's given. Chauncey to 1K subs. That'd be sick. But no rush. Just a weekly streamer for now. Hopefully I can get some more daily streams maybe in the future if I do this trading thing full time, but plenty content with doing these Wednesday ones and fitting it in on the occasional time if I'm like off from work or something. But cool. Hopefully the music isn't too loud. You can let me know if like the audio levels are off, but should be okay. Let's start jumping into our alts. So Algo was one that, again, like I was talking about a couple weeks ago. Like I was like, it's pretty bad below these levels. But the thing is, and I think last Wednesday I said this too, because I believe last Wednesday we were, yep, here. I said, if you break above this, we want to ultimately look for a continuation, and then your target would be 28.90. And lo and behold, you hit 28.90, you popped above it, but again, getting shoved back down. I wouldn't be surprised in the last minute here if we get pushed back down here. Thank you for the sub, Hamza. So yeah, I'm curious to see. I want to see in the next 30 seconds if this does or not. But ultimately, I think Algo is probably due for some ranging here. Not really relatively equal highs, I would say, just yet, but in time, I could definitely see this. You have a big imbalance here in your premium of your leg from high to low. So, like, if I were to pull my fib, whoops, I gotta fix that. All right, we just got our daily close. Yeah, so that's right in your premium area instead of your discount. So longs are still decent here. We did technically close above this level, so that isn't half shabby, if I do say so myself. Because again, look, this was like the inception point for Algo, at least with this wick high. And you can see, again, it gets pretty well respected as a support and resistance area. Again, like it is more of a zone than a definitive level, but that's just the level I have marked. You can see how like close it gets retested. So what I would want to see here potentially is some consolidation. Ideally, oh wow, you got a 3-day close above it too. Not too bad. So this looks good. I'd probably see it push back down. I think if you're gonna look for longs on this though, ultimately this fair value gap here inside your demand block, easy invalidation, below that low. If you want to play it safe, you could probably play below these lows. But I think ultimately, if you're playing continuation of trend, wait for some sort of probably H4 or H1 confirmation inside there. If H4 is still bullish, let me see. Yeah. Yeah, I'd probably look for some H1 confirmation, and then you can get long and look to swing it higher if we are trending to the upside. False is hard at work using those little avatar things. Twitch streamer enjoying YouTube. Yeah. False, I will say, is probably one of like my favorite. I don't watch many streamers, to be honest, so slim pickings, but of the ones I do watch, False is definitely up there for quality content. So definitely go check him out. He just hit 3K subs on Twitch, and he'll be going live tomorrow during New York Open. So definitely go give him check him out. But yeah, so that's algo. We'll dive into APT. Oh my gosh, what happened here with this chart? So I think this was something I was talking about in Chroma, was this potential like 3 drives idea where you get like 3 drives down. Obviously we haven't really done, we kind of did scenario, I guess, like 2 in this case, but I really wanted to see these get taken in terms of liquidity. Wait, can I make False a oh, there we go. Wait, False, try typing in chat now. All right, he'll be typing in chat later. There we go. So yeah, False, I made you a mod so you can help manage the 18 viewers. Nice. But yeah, so obviously with this, kind of no man's land in my opinion. Like the whole 3 drive, or originally the 3 tap setup here failed. If you saw my post on Twitter, you still have these equal highs, which like for me, like if BTC is gonna push and rally and we're gonna go higher, like there's no way you're leaving this behind. So I have some like alerts set for lower. We do have equal lows here. What would be kind of neat in my opinion is if like you kind of fall back, maybe like come down, you get a wick, and then you V up, and then we go up for like another final leg of APT. So yeah, Clash. Yes, I love the energy follows. But yeah, APT, I mean, relatively high time frame, like unless you're breaking below 1158 with a daily close with like strong displacement, like this thing still is good for upside. Didn't take the high, this is the low, so just kind of chop city for a bit. Hopefully maybe next week, by the time I stream, I'll be streaming the day before CPI next week, so that'll be interesting to kind of hone in and talk about some stuff. Will definitely be interesting to look. Yes, Nor, we go way back, precisely like a year, but that's a lot of time in terms of people I've met on CT that have come and gone. So yeah, ultimately you have short-term objective here, high time frame objective here, high time frame objective here. I'm not too biased. The reason I have these fib levels is because this is such like so fresh. That honestly, just plotting this, you can see like how well respected that like 1618 was. Even like the 1414 on the initial impulse up on this daily candle that got wicked down. And almost like the retest and hold of 1272. Like fibs are very underrated. If you've never used them before, highly recommend just checking it out. It's I have my tools hidden on the side, but yeah, it's this one, the third item section down. It has fib retracements. So yeah, we didn't engulf on the daily close here, so nothing like too concerning in my opinion. But yo, LH and Victor, oh man, the gang is here. What is poppin', my peeps? Or wait, no, as Follis would say when he enters the chat, or what, I don't know if it's the memes like "What's up, youngsters?" or "Yo, pandemic." Dang, we are vibing. We got the dub techno going. We got the charts, and the homies. Can't complain. Let's keep this party going. Oh my God, Victor, Jesus, this is today. 7 minutes. This thing is up 21%. I remember Victor told me about this coin. Was it last stream or 2 streams ago? It's crazy. We had relatively equal highs before, but they're taken. That level's taken. Buy side liquidity up here got taken. You have another level at 9120, but dang. Victor, I hope you have a bag, because I remember we were talking about this last week in terms of, like, this was gonna go, because even, like, weekly chart, dude, on this thing is crazy. But yeah, no, it's up 23%. Yes! Happy for you, because I do not, so, but wow. That was literally in the past. It was on the opening candle for the daily open, up 24% now on the day. And oh yeah, if you're a degen scalper, this is the one for you for now. 10 cents imminent, I would say, and that would be even from here. That's like another 15% or 13-14%. Yeah, yo, this is crazy. GRT. I will add it to the list. We will check it out. But wow, this thing, yeah, 10 cents. Let me pull up the fib levels for like the beginning to the end on this bad boy. See if there's any sort of like anything coming up. There you go. That's your low. All right, so yeah, oh, and that's only the 236, like 10 cents easy on this. Again, like FOMO. No, complete opposite, LH. I am not touching this thing. I do not recommend hopping in, but if you are a degen M1 scalper, this is like your playing field right here. But yeah, no, I will be staying away, but I would say 10 cents it'll happen. Whether it be like now or a couple days, but after that, like there's no way you're not gonna at least go retest the 236 on an impulse up like that. I wish I had my volume indicator on. Hold on, because I'm curious to see like what the volume came in like on that. Oh, it's really not even. It's all right. We had like more volume here, which is interesting. Exactly. Terrified of this chart. Yeah, no, I would not, because like I'd have such terrible luck with stuff like this where I'd be like, okay, time to hop in, and I jump in and then it just absolutely nukes, and I'm like, nah. I've been burnt so many times before, it's just not even worth it. But we'll head over to Adam, which has now almost hit TP2 of the Gartley. And again, I'm kicking myself because we talked about the cipher even last year during the Chroma streams in a voice chat, and I had been monitoring this. I thought it was going to be a bat because this was kind of like a 0.58, so I thought it was going to go for the 886 down here. We got the reaction even before the 786, and since then, last week we were looking at it, or right here, or yeah, oh wow, last week we got the impulse up on that Wednesday, which is quite interesting, and we took out whatever I had marked as like an equal high there. I think it was on low time frame. Do I hold any spots besides the DC? So I'm doing a DCA right now on BTC and ETH. I can let me see if I can quick pull it up. All right, so with this, the way it works is every week I DCA into BTC and ETH. And if the price is higher than the previous week, I put in less money. So I started with 50 for each, and then it went down to 25, and obviously we've been going up. This past week it went lower, so I put in 50, and then if it goes lower the next week, I put in 100 for each, and then it gets capped at 100. So it ranges in value. It's just like a small side thing alongside my trading stuff. So when the bull market comes, I have accrued like a bag at relatively low prices. I'll obviously, if we get bigger pushes down to like low prices, I'll throw some money in, but that's ultimately what I'm doing with that. But no, I don't have any spot bags. I should probably, I mean, I feel like I'm a little bit late to that party, to be honest. I know Falls has that bag of RNDR that's almost, what is it, like a 3-4x right now? It's crazy. I missed that boat, so I think I might start dipping my toes more into spot, just as like a passive side thing. But I don't currently have any at the moment. I think I'm gonna wait for 3.5x. Yeah, no, that's wicked good. Like, I'm sure you're chilling on that. So, and I know your outlook on it's like a year or two. So I'm sure when the bull market comes, like the price you got in at will be insane. So kudos to you. But yeah, Adam is really just. I'm gonna change this song really quick. I'm not vibing with it. One sec. There we go. It's a little bit better. So where do we go from here on Adam? Because this thing is strong, in my opinion. I mean, not as strong as ASTR, but not half bad either. So 3-day, we did get the close above it. Ultimately, I would be looking at C next, so 1581 or so. You could then look for the next one at 1694. But ultimately, like, if we're above 1478, you're looking for 1776 next. Again, like, that's just a clean ice line level. We go back. You can see it kind of depicts where you hold between these like higher prices as well as between like the lower ones. Retest, rip, retest, rip. And then there's some other like zones higher, but I think 1776 would be my next like target if you're long on Atom, followed by $20 would be like another key level, because this is like, in my opinion, $20 to $21 on Atom is like defining between like the lower consolidation and then like our higher stuff. But yeah, this thing could certainly go. We've talked during the stream, like potentially seeing. I was hoping to enter lower, but these are from fib levels. I think the targets were. So yeah, the 1618, $68, 69. Like, as a meme, could totally see that happening. But Algorand. Oh, you missed it. We were looking at Algorand before, Bandemic, but I will quick hop back on it. Yeah, the emojis are definitely fun on YouTube. There's a good amount of them as well. Yeah, the one thing I was talking about with Algo before is pretty much if you're above 2890, where you're pushing up, you have this giant imbalance in your premium area. So, but what I was saying is ultimately, I think unless like BTC starts shoving up, I think this is probably going to come back. You have your daily fair value gap, and then from there, I would look for confirmation to get long, targeting this imbalance, and that would be a pretty good gainer, I would say. Like, even if you got something like that, it's like a 20% push, so looks nice. But yeah, above 2890 is, anytime you've gone above 2890, I'd say like the minimum has been 36 cents, give or take. But really you push up till about 39. So yeah, somewhere in that range. BNB, another beauty. That got kind of front ran. So this would have been a shark. This 886 would have been the actual PCZ, but we can see that it is probably one of the better alts if you're looking to buy, because man, this thing structurally superb. Like, you're not revisiting any of these lows. Goodbye. goodbye Felicia, or whatever that saying is, but this is definitely, oh yeah, we hit 333. Like I had mentioned last week, I was like, okay, if we're gonna keep pushing up, 333 is your next target. Obviously you can see that ice line, we ain't going through it, so that's a very high time frame resistance level. If you do break up it, it's probably a magnet up till 350, and then probably consolidation. And then once you get above 350, anytime we've broken above, well, not anytime, but I would say most of the time, besides like here, I would say anytime you break above it, you teleport up to 416. So BNB, keep an eye on it, because you get some consolidation, you hold above here. This could be a really simple long where you're like, okay, why? Wait, oh, no. What happened? Man. My long and short tool's all messed up. Because I clicked on the one, I think, from the other one. I'll fix it later, but I think it's just... I think it's these two. Yeah. But yeah, ultimately we want to see, like, you could size it up something like this, where you have like 25% gain. I think you'd want your like stop there, and then you could do something like this, like a 3R, but you do it with like a little bit more risk as a swing, and it's a good play. But again, if we're failing to break here, could be shorts on the table, but I'm still leaning bullish with my bias for the time being. So I think it's just going to kind of consolidate before popping. Doge. So I'm starting to have second thoughts about this potential butterfly, because we did get above this ice line, and pretty much if you're above that, historically, anytime we've gotten above that ice line besides here, so you could argue that every time we've gone above the ice line, the minimum height you've gone is to that point, like 11 cents basically, because even here, like historically, and that's like the whole thing with the I feel like a potential butterfly. I don't even know what that would feel like, but I'll take your word for it. But yeah, you can see here, you literally absolutely shattered it, ripped through. Here you came back down. Once you got back above, you ripped up to here pretty much, which was this low back here. So now it's like we're back above it, or you got back above it here, but only went there. So is this it? Like, are you gonna fall down, or are we gonna go take out C? In which case, if you do take out C, it kind of invalidates the harmonics. So I don't know. But if we do go into like another kind of like economic macro recession or whatever, everyone's freaking out and stuff, this would be my target, 2 cents for Doge. But again, I think that's kind of far-fetched. The only reason I kind of like that is because you do have this kind of liquidity void here, where I could see a quick wick down and then push back up. This isn't even like dub techno anymore. This is more like your typical like house vibe, but I'm with it. We're chilling. Let's go to Link. Link is doing absolutely nothing. I know, like, I feel like every time I look at this chart, I'm like, all right, next, like, let's go to something else. But yeah, it's really just ranging here. It's in a similar situation, I would say, to Sushi, which is also on the list that we'll take a look at. But I would love to see sort of like a big PO3 with this being like your accumulation. We come back down to like this original area where we were at, take some of this liquidity, and then rip. But we may not get that. However, getting involved in the middle, in my opinion, there's no benefit. I know Falls had a lovely post on it too. Yeah. But yeah, I just have these 3 levels are basically old ice lines that I just plotted from like where you can see like how it reacted in terms of like a ranging behavior. But we have yet to come back down to that. So P03, what do you say something else? Oh no, that's just like your I know you love those, dude. Yeah, Mana was one, or I think I added actually up to my watch list because of Bandemic was talking about it recently. There was like a high or some sort of liquidity void that you were looking at. I don't remember where. It might have been like the equal highs there. I don't know. But we do have a lot of liquidity here. We are kind of pushing up. Mana to $2. That's a bold claim. I mean, it is very efficient up until here. There, you do have a void right there, so I could see it. I mean, I'm not knocking it. Monthly, you have your monthly fair value gap. The EQ is at 195, so, and these have all been taken. That's a nice candle. So yeah, I don't know how I feel about that, but Mana is definitely one of those ones. It's gonna catch me. It's probably again, but yeah, no, definitely a lot of liquidity above. So we'll see. But this one, wow, like in retrospect, just I got absolutely burned, and I will never forget this because I don't think I've ever like cried from like trading more. Like I was just so disappointed in myself one night, or the night it happened. I literally had ran up like a 1K to 10K account, or no, it was a 2.5K to 10K account in 1 month. And then I tried shorting this on Halloween. Yeah, so this day. It was like, I think Saturday going into Halloween, like that Sunday. And I just kept getting absolutely wrecked. And yeah, it was very upsetting. Had I longed, I would have been chilling. I would have been fine. But yeah, no, I was emotionally destroyed. My portfolio was down 70%. And I think that was like the big moment where I was like, all right, like I need to learn risk management, or like I need to stop trading. One of the two. So yeah, a little life lesson there. Matic is all another beast. It was up about 3% today, while everything else was kind of down. I just have these all-time fib levels. I was looking at the retrace that we got, which was a perfect 886 pretty much, which is, again, like if you use fibs on high time frames, they get respected pretty nicely for the most part. So now if we're looking at like where are we looking for in terms of from our high to our low, we can check that out. Mana turned Johnsy into a Ponzi. Yeah, that's when I realized I was like, this ain't for me, or the way I was trading was not for me. Just like full blown all-inning on every trade. But yeah, you can see 382 getting respected really nicely. But if we can flip this, 1.6 I would say is easily on the table. You do have a nice little, I like this here, and this is on the 3-day, so it's a little bit hard to see. You have relatively equal highs here. On the daily, we did tap into that fair value gap, but on the 3-day, it's fully unmitigated. It's this little like gap right here. Yeah, that one. So I think that's a great target for this if we do start catching some bids and get some higher prices. But ultimately, I want to see 132-ish get flipped and turned into support before looking for that. Yeah, probably just some local like consolidation, and then you could look for like longs up to this level. 3-day BPR. Wait, really? Oh, wow. Good catch, Platty. I didn't even see that. Yeah, it's almost spot on. So yeah, let's rebalance this, send Matic to 154. Easy. So yeah, Matic thoughts. Just gotta take a minute to vibe every now and then. Near is another one that's similar to Soul, which we're gonna look at after this. Had a beautiful kind of butterfly harmonic, your confirmation low, and we've come up and tapped X pretty much almost to the T. Obviously, we have a lot more price action to consider and factor in. I don't have like my ice line spotted for this. I just have like some local highs and lows. But I think if you can flip 286, you have an imbalance here at about 320. You have the buy side liquidity at 344, but ultimately, I would be looking for that next kind of support resistance level at 356. So yeah, for now, again, it's kind of like a similar situation of BNB where it's butting up against it. I wouldn't want to be taking longs right underneath it. I want to see it kind of flip, consolidate, hold, and then look for that move up. But it does look good structurally. It is holding up nicely up here. So hopefully we see some continuation throughout the week. Now, Soul, on the other hand, had a really nice impulse up when the market kind of had its little run. But it's kind of... I don't like this. I don't like the fact that it's just kind of doing this. So I'm worried that... Later, LH. Thanks for stopping by. I'm worried that if this does not start catching some bids soon, you have a lot of lows underneath that will get taken. But I ultimately still feel like there's no way you're going to leave these equal highs at $39. So like if you're a spot buyer and you have some Soul, I think it's like, I think like if I had to bet my life on it, I would say Soul is going to go to $39 at some point before it either sees lower or higher prices. Like I think that would be a decent bet to make. Maybe not my life, but I guess it depends how much you value your life. But yeah, that is a TP of the harmonic. But yeah, first let's touch B. But yeah, you can see obviously we're getting like that push off the imbalance here. But we do have some local ones here that need to be filled, high time frame wise. Yeah, we did absorb a lot there. So it wouldn't be out of the question to see it kind of pull back and then maybe you get another kind of move up. But I think ultimately in my thesis of we're just going to scam pump, that I think Soul should hopefully continue with the rest of the market. Yeah, dude, they're absolutely butter. There's like no reason. And even up here too, look at this. 48, you have this high here, you have this high here, and it's like just below it, but yeah. No, I don't know if you'll see like $300 Soul again. That's gonna depend on a lot of things. Or it wasn't. I don't think we ever hit 260 or whatever. But this harmonic looks good here in my opinion for higher prices if you're a buyer. And market looks like some bids are coming in. Things are starting to turn green on my watch list, which is nice. We'll go to Sushi. So Sushi, again, like, is another one that I think Sushi and Link look very, very similar. Whoops. Yeah. It's like you come up, you come down, and you just range. But I think Sushi is the stronger of the two. Sushi's already taken the EQ. We flipped it. You now have rated the local low. I'm sure you have some sort of, like, yeah, H4, maybe even H4, M15. I mean, arguably, maybe have some sort of SMT with BTC. I don't know what BTC did at the lows or ETH. Yeah, I don't know. But it looks good, Sushi, in my opinion. Would I long here? No. But I don't think going to 190 is out of the question, potentially for like kind of like your three tap short play to then go take some lows and whatnot. If we do get that sort of macro pullback in like Q3, Q4, which is kind of my outlook. And of course, we'll wrap up crypto before quick going to GRT with our total market cap. Obviously, I just can't get over, like, I feel like I should have been watching this, because had I seen this and this and this, like, you have very easy invalidation at those levels that I could have been like, hey, like, this is a time to buy, because, like, if this starts to fall, like, then I know, like, I should get rid of my bags. But you live and you learn. So it looks good. I mean, obviously this is just a aggregate of all crypto assets. Yes, Platy, real markets next. We will go to some Forex and then check out some indices. But yeah, total looks good. I do want to take a look at GRT, because I know the homie in the chat had requested it before, and I did see some charts on GRT actually on Twitter a couple days ago with it pumping. So yeah, we had yesterday, or yeah, 61% 2 days ago. So was that Monday? Yeah. Jeez, crazy. You took the buy side liquidity. Like, I don't know. This is one of those coins, in my opinion. Like, it's had its run. It's done. Like, or not that it's done entirely, but like, there's so many other assets out there that haven't done this, that like you'd be much better off trading. Like, if you had a bag and you are in it from like down here, excellent. I hope you sold some or took some partials, because stuff like this, in my opinion, unless it's like hot new items, like this is a dino coin. This has been around for I'm sure if I look at the spot chart on like Coinbase, this has been around for a while. Oh my god, what is, oh yeah, this is a old harmonic. I do have some my ice lines though, because I used to trade solely on Coinbase when I was first getting into trading. So I do have a lot of clean charts with ice lines from them. This was some like sketched out bat harmonic that never really caught enough bids to even get TP1, which would have been B. But yeah, GRT, like it's just, it's not good. I guess you could say, if you're looking for like where it could go, 27 cents. I don't think you're gonna see anything higher than that, solely due to like, yeah, that was where, or I think it's meant to be, yeah, that daily close, 27.70. That's where traders settled up on Wednesday 13th, January 21st. Or like the 21st, 2021, not 20. Jeez. So yeah, that is like your high time frame resistance, in my opinion. So like if you're in it, I would have taken partials probably at this buy side liquidity. Maybe you get some continuation. You do have a little bit of a daily imbalance there. Ooh, I like the music. Then we're gonna come back in. Ooh. Just some nice little drums there. But yeah, you do have a daily imbalance below. I would not be looking to like freshly long anything. I would wait for maybe some sort of reaction inside your POI, but it does look like it's curling up, so we'll see. But yeah, that's GRT. Now time for, as Platy likes to say, the real markets. We'll take a look at Euro. So something I was looking at, I don't know if it was on stream or in Chroma, but was this whole kind of, oh yeah, I think it was over the weekend when we were doing VC. We were doing like our VC where we mark up charts together as a team with some members. But I was looking at this potential, it's not really like a proper market maker sell model. It's almost like a PO3. I would say it's more of a PO3 than anything to be each. And for a couple of reasons. So if we go to H1, it's really like it was actually really clean in my opinion. You had the only reason I had this was like an original consolidation is because it was so like just clean and concise, but ultimately like sell side liquidity, your accumulation came up, ran the daily FEG, and then from there kind of had like a H1 market structure break. Realistically though, you didn't have your break till down here, but this is where you would have wanted, in my opinion, to get short with confirmation if you weren't like shorting from here. But ultimately, that sell side liquidity got taken out nice and quick on Monday. And since then, we're kind of chopping. The one thing I do like about this, and I know I was talking to David earlier today, or Joker's Season, if you know him. He's looking for a potential, I think he was interested in longing GU. And I like this as like a 3-tap setup. The only thing I'm not crazy about is the fact that we didn't like it. This is really like kind of puts a kink in the whole thing, because normally you want to see a market structure break afterwards. We are at the lows, which is kind of nice because you would have easy invalidation if you're looking for longs here. And I'll get into Dixie in a little bit. And Bandemic, I am going to bring up the fact that you talked about, and I love your post on Twitter about it, the flat low on Dixie for the weekly. Because that's kind of how I formulated my bias a little bit in terms of ES and NQ. I had like a higher time frame market maker sell model, which we'll dive into in a little bit. But I just wanted to give you a shout out for that, because that was some great analysis on that. So yeah. EU, the euro to dollar, I think does look good for longs here. Personally, I mean, I'm favoring upside on this. You've taken a lot of liquidity. I mean, we could very well just come down and take all this, but I would like to see a sort of move up. You have this massive H12 imbalance, and ultimately, even if we are going to continue selling off, I want to see that sort of like come back up and then kind of chop, consolidate, and then make your move down. Kind of like this being a, I don't even know if you could say like a market maker sell model, because this is ugly in terms of like, I like my original consolidation to be like a nice little fat block. You're looking for the H1 FVG above. Are you in a long right now, Platty? Well, the H1 FBG above just got liquidity taken from it. Unless you're talking about like up here. But GU, I think, has a kind of cleaner read. Oh, you were short yesterday? Gotcha. Something I was looking at that I was talking about with Chroma members, and it was absolutely money. Yo, Jerry! Is this the Jerry I think it is? I don't know. I know like one Jerry, but he has an H in his name, so I'm not sure if it's him. But thank you for the sub. So one thing I was looking at earlier today that was really nice was this market maker buy model. This being like your original consolidation. I got taken out on a long here this morning. I was looking for this. Like I was longing, I think, in here. And we got to push up, and then it kind of fell apart. So I was just kind of monitoring it throughout the day, where we had this. You have your distribution. You have your smart money reversal. And it looks so nice on M2 too, because you had the FVG, which held. You had this little one here, which held. You tap back into this. You pushed up. Your BPR here became support. You pushed up here. This became support, the breaker. The only thing is, what happened was once you lost the breaker, it just turned into like selling off. Like it lost its cool. Now, I was also, here's a little bit of knowledge. I was talking to a Victor. I'm trying to think of his @ on Twitter. It's like Victor KRK, I think. Ultimately, when you want your silver bullet, which would be like that the second distribution up to either buy side liquidity or short to sell side liquidity, you want to have cleared the last bit of supply in this case, or your demand if it was a short. So we would have wanted to have seen it get a close above here, come back, retest, and then you would have longed to buy side liquidity. But unfortunately, we did not get that. So this whole like stuff is kind of null and void, unfortunately, but it was really clean up until then. But again, that was like during like lunch and PM session. So I'm not really sure what's gonna happen. I do know there is news at 4:45 a.m. my time tomorrow. I normally get up at 4:30, so I might get up a little bit earlier so I can shower and maybe I can catch like a quick trade on it. But my overall thesis is this, and I shared this in Chroma earlier in the week, and I'll kind of dive into it a little bit more now, is I think this is a lovely high time frame 3-tap setup. On the monthly chart, we have this monthly imbalance. We wicked into it on January, came back out. February wicked into it. We've come back out so far. However, we're still technically bearishly engulfing. You have a monthly imbalance up here. So my whole thought process is on pound right now. I will say, Platty, this year I've been doing a lot of like growth and like bettering myself as a person. So like reading that makes me laugh because like I am doing like not the typical like TikTok stuff like the cold showers. Like I take warm showers, dude. I'm showering at 4:30 a.m. I'm getting cozy and like I'm not trying to freeze. But I have been doing like a lot of audiobooks and trying to learn languages and stuff like that. I'm currently doing like Japanese on with Duolingo, so it's been a lot of fun. But back to the charts. We have this BPR on H4 that's absolutely beautiful. You can see here we tested into it, we held it, and my whole bias is ultimately, I think we're going to, I don't know how exactly, we may come down and tap the lows for reals. But what I wanted to see ultimately is us to kind of push up, like consolidate, push up, clear range highs, and go for that monthly imbalance. And we'll take a look now at Dixie, and before I go to the Euro Pound chart, to kind of talk about that. So here's my catastrophe of a chart, I guess. I can kind of walk through it. Here you have your original consolidation, first accumulation, reaccumulation. This would be, in my opinion, your smart money reversal, which is your classic 3 falling peaks pattern. It's like a typical retail pattern. You have a BPR here that didn't really do anything, but in my opinion, that's just price saying, hey, this is balanced, we're ready to go down. You broke structure, and then in your distribution section, you have these beautiful volume imbalances, ticked, rated the high, went down, and then everyone's getting bullish here. And I don't Bandemic said, like, on Twitter, this is a flat low, meaning like from the beginning of the week, this has done nothing but essentially it's a little bit weird, I think, because I think the weeks, or did I hit the maybe it's the chart I'm using. Oh no, yeah, there it is. This is totally flat, so this, in my opinion, is going to get taken, and we also have this is down here is flat. So what I would like to see is, cold shower won't make you, oh no, never mind, you said that before. Gonna turn to a wick IMO. Yeah, I don't see this not, it might chop for a bit like this week, like it might just be a choppy week, and then next week when we have CPI, you get that shoved down. But like the lows down at this original consolidation to the left here are so clean. There's no like, and high time frame wise, if we go to like the monthly chart, I hate to be that guy, but you closed below this level, which you have now retested and are falling back down. So in my opinion, if you're below, if you cannot get a daily close above 103.80 or 81, we're going down. Like, high time frame wise, this would be your classic like SFP, or maybe not SFP, what's the word, like up and over, and then you retest and then you go down. But yeah, that's my bias on this. That's kind of why I've had this long bias on ES and NQ. I got absolutely shafted today on that NQ short. I'm so bummed because what happened was is I was looking to get short. Where was it? It was back. Yeah, I was looking on the M5 chart. So I was looking at this. We have the just so you know, this blue is a volume imbalance that we left from the weekly open. But yeah, it was right here. I wanted to get short because I knew this was going to be a draw of liquidity. I knew since we broke out of, at the time it was like something like that. We had broken out of the value area. I was like, okay, it's going to be a successful auction. And unfortunately, I opened my position before 9:30. I wasn't really thinking at the time. And I got wicked out before it not only took this low, which would have easily hit had I waited, but then clearly ran for lower prices. Yo, thank you, Dr. Vodip. This is something I was sharing earlier. It didn't happen to play out, but yeah. So my whole thoughts with this is I don't think the high's in for the week, or maybe it's a choppy week. Maybe it's just kind of range bound, and then next week you get some sort of like manipulation and then you're push up. I'm not 100% sure. Tomorrow I'm just going to be focusing on scalps, I'd say, for indices, and maybe looking for a potential swing on GU during the news. But with NQ and the S&P, like, we are below the weekly volume imbalance, so I've kind of shifted to a more bearish tone. If we get back above that, I'm more bullish. I also think it's funny, ICT, if you follow him, tweeted about a M5 FEG on Monday, and it's so funny, like, how well respected it was. Even today, like at 9 or 10, yeah, like 9, 10 o'clock, like you came up, wicked it. All these highs could not break through it. So that's like a level I'm just leaving on the chart for now, to kind of see what price does when we get back up to it. But if you can flip that, I would say buy side liquidity is easily next. Just put in equal lows. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that is money, my man. Nice spot. So yeah, those are pretty tasty. You can argue that H4 is now bearish. You rated the high. This broke structure. What I could see happen tomorrow initially is we do get a push up into this imbalance before then going towards those lows. So I wouldn't necessarily be looking to long right out the gate, but if you do get a push up, EU and GU, preferably GU, I think tomorrow will provide some good long opportunities. Yeah, like Bandemic said, we have those tasty equal lows right below. Yeah, oh yeah, I remember this from this morning too, because I know Joker Season was mentioning in his Discord group, he was like, oh yeah, we have equal lows and equal highs, like, and at the time it was these equal highs, which ended up getting ran. So yeah, keep an eye on that, but you do have this imbalance here that I'd be looking for to get filled at least first. Euro 2 pound, putting my house on a 2 pip spot. I fixed this earlier today. I think the high might actually be in now. I could be wrong. We could, again, like my original thesis was we might push up to take this high before getting that sort of macro push down. But ultimately this is still kind of my bias until we either go above an 886 retrace or you break above A. But yeah, this could take the rest of the year to play out. So, but ultimately, I think GU in the coming weeks and even today, or maybe not initially today, EU is probably going to be a little bit stronger while we fill some of this. But GU, I think, will be the better asset to long. So keep your eyes peeled. And yeah, ETH to BTC will quick do as a nominee. Absolutely range bound for all of eternity. This is the weekly chart, mind you. So this has been in this range since May of 2021, 2 years. So it'll be quite interesting once we finally do break out. But I mean, there's not much to say on this. It is what it is. But just quickly going back to ETH and BTC before I wrap it up, we actually went like a full hour and 15 minutes, or a little over an hour tonight, which is great. I know last week was a little bit shorter, but I am pretty bullish. I will give you some tea, not tea, but the sauce in terms of what I'm looking for here on ETH. This is the long. If you stuck around for the whole stream, this is the long I'm in for the challenge account, where I ultimately want to see that big sort of impulse up to buy side liquidity. We're still pretty much at entry. My invalidation is just the low where you had the fair value gap. But yeah, we'll see what we get. This might get taken out again. Like my challenge account on crypto, I haven't traded crypto like since last year pretty much. So I'm just kind of getting back in the swing of things. I'm trying to have some fun with it and be a little bit more aggressive than I would be on like my actual funded account and how I am with indices and forex. So we'll see what we get, but I don't think the daily close here was really that bad. The 3-day you engulfed here. So really what I want to see is hopefully follow through today and tomorrow. Maybe we get a scam pump. I don't think there's any news really. Oh god, I almost just knocked my tea over. Yeah, it's just stuff on unemployment claims at 8:30. Maybe we get a pump. But ultimately, this is what I'm gonna be looking for tomorrow on the pound. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up there for today, unless anybody has any last minute requests. But you got a little setup out of it. Again, like if you're gonna take this, use your own reasonable risk and stop loss, and don't go all in, because I have yet to win a trade on my crypto account or the challenge account yet. So hopefully that one. The thing that really screwed me over the weekend was I had that short that would have been 5R that I missed my TP by 30 cents. But yeah, big love, G's. Appreciate Platty and Bandemic, both of you guys, for sticking around. Hope you guys and everyone else in the chat enjoys the rest of your week. I'm just gonna go back to that song I was listening to. Where is it? Yeah, the one I was listening to when I was starting up the stream. So yeah, we're gonna wrap it up there. As always, have a wonderful week. Manage your risk, and I will see you next week for the daily candle close. Peace.